Alright guys, so welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working on this Ferrari 512S from 1973. I'll explain later the difference between the 1973 and the 1972 Ferrari. So I already went ahead and pre-drilled this casting. I used 172 bunhead screws because they are smaller than the 256 and it looks better on these old cars. You can see that this does not have a suspension. It has a see-through axle wheel. Interior is missing the glass. I did buy a brand new reproduction glass. So back from the stripper, did not have a lot of paint left. Lime away, mix equal parts with water, 50-50. So the Ferrari 512S was first sold by Hot Wheels in 1972, even though the base says 1970. It was first sold in 1972. In 1972, it had suspension and it had on cap-on wheels. 1973, if you did not know, Hot Wheels only released, if I'm not mistaken, 3 brand new casting. All the other castings were old casting and they were fixed or reworked to accommodate the new see-through wheels, where you can see like the normal ones from today, where you can see the little end of the axle. So this was sold as a Shell promotion. Yes, the gas station. Shell did a promo where they sold, I believe it was 10 different castings, and the Ferrari 512S was one of them. Most of them only came in little baggies. Very difficult to find these in blisters. You can see I'm using the Dremel here to clean it up because it had a lot of corrosion. So it's all nice and cleaned. I removed the wheels, as you can see. And here you can see the difference. It had that little metal tab. That's a 1972 Ferrari. I'm going to show you the difference now. So the casting itself is the same. What changes is the base. It even has the same numbers. Of course, 1973 was the first year they used enamel, or all enamel. They did not use Spectra Flame paint. The one has a 1, the other one has a 4. I believe they changed that number as for badges, I think. Other than that, everything else is just exactly the same. You see the 1972 was a Spectra Flame lime, I believe. So here you can see the plastic piece that holds the suspension on the 1972 with the cap-on wheels. Cap-on wheels holds the wheels in place. They don't touch the base. And it does have like a rivet in the middle holding the plastic piece. The 1973 has these metal prongs sticking out so the wheels would not rub against the base. So I got these cap-on axles on eBay. I'm going to transform this into the 1972. Now, the wheels end up rubbing on those metal tabs, but I did not want to cut them out, as it's basically the only thing that identifies the base as being 1973. So I did not want to damage that. And nobody's going to be playing with this. It still does roll, but it just doesn't roll freely. So some Gorilla Glue accelerator. The Shell promotion cars each came in 6 different colors, all enamel. You can see the axle is on. Like I said before, it still rolls, but it's a little tight because it's rubbing on that metal piece. So I got some deep dish bright vision cap on wheels. It does take medium size wheels. And one of the adapters, one of the cap on adapters, I think it had, like, when it got molded, it had a piece that broke off, so the wheel did not click into place. But it's basically the only source and the only way you could do this type of modification, unless you break an old car and steal the axle from an old car. So what I did was I placed a little bit of glue inside the wheel and installed it back. It was only one of them, so the problem was not the wheel. The problem was the axle with the adapter. Again, nobody's gonna play with this, and this is just to make sure that the wheel doesn't come flying off, because it doesn't have the proper form. So the base is done. Now we're going to paint. I'm using the Redline Shop base coat. A lot easier. I've mentioned this before in the past. Fell in love with this product. I don't have to polish, and I don't have to do zinc plating. I'm using Big Bertha, my big airbrush, for this. And for the paint, I'm using these Bright Vision Salmon Pink, which was not a color available for the 1972. The closest color was rose, but I ran out of rose, so I went with the salmon pink. The paint was not coming out. Turned out, lucky for me, I also bought the paint reducer from them, and I had to mix it like 2 to 1, 2 parts paint, 1 part reducer, and it worked beautifully. I don't know if that's only applies to this color, but this is at least what happened to me. Here's a little trick. After painting, the back part is supposed to be black. You could do this with a Sharpie, and then when you clear coat, it will just get sealed in, but it will end up being glossy. Now I'm using the little pieces of stir sticks from Starbucks here. Keep everything open, that way the clear coat here doesn't seal everything. Again, I'm using my favorite polyurethane rattle can clear coat. It's quick and effective. On a previous video, somebody asked me if it does turn yellow. The answer is yes, but only on white car. So here is what we started with. All beat up, barely any paint. How about giving it some new life? There it is. You can see the black is no longer glossy. That's because after clear coating it, I use my Molotov acrylic paint markers to give it that flat look. Now the underneath Sharpie is sealed with the clear coat, so if the paint does scratches off, it'll still be black, but I will notice because the glossy paint will stick through, but it's an easy repair. As you can see, we got the replacement window back on from Second Chance Redlines over at eBay. Turned out great. Let me know in the comments what you think. Hey, here's the other one, the original 1972. Bye.